Hey Five Forks Church, it's Pastor Brady, and I hope you had the chance to watch the different Pastoral Report videos that came out this past week. But for this video you're watching now, it's going to deal with our church finances. You see, we aim to be as transparent and open as possible regarding the finances of the church. Thus, I wanted to make this video to help walk you through the part of the annual report where the financial information is found. It begins with the Treasurer's Report, and this provides a detailed account of all of the expenses we incurred in 2024. You'll see that our total expenses came in around $28,000 below what was initially anticipated. After reviewing the report, you can read the Treasurer's Report overview that explains how exactly we ended up spending $28,000 less than originally expected. After the Treasurer's Report, you'll come to the General Account Report. You'll see that we started the year with close to $43,000 in the operating fund, and we ended the year with around $53,500 in this general operating fund. This is probably the best time to say that we are just so humbled and grateful for all of your incredible generosity towards Five Forks. I could honestly repeat this over and over throughout this whole video, sounding like a broken record, but I'll just say this once more. Thank you, Five Forks. You know, the reason why I say that, I'm just so blown away, is that this $53,500 figure, it's because we started November with about a $1,000 deficit in our operating fund. And while year-end giving is historically strong, this again just blew us away that we are now sitting at a whopping $53,500 to start this new year in 2025. I mean, simply wow. If you keep going on the General Account Report, you'll see year-end updates on the Renovation Fund and Building Fund. And one important thing to note about these two funds is that around $84,000 was transferred from the Building Fund to the Renovation Fund. If you recall, in 2022, we recognized that rather than focusing on additional expansion, it seemed wiser to explore ways to better use and update our current facilities. Hence, the change of focus and increase to the Renovation Fund. In addition to the $84,000 transfer, we also reached out to individuals who have contributed to the Building Fund since 2016, asking if they would be willing to have their donations also moved from the Building Fund to the Renovation Fund, since there are no new plans for construction in the foreseeable future. To conclude the General Account Report, you'll lastly see year-end updates about two different investment funds that we have in place. If you keep going, after the General Account Report, you'll find the Special Activities Report, and that contains over 50 line items that show, among other things, what money came in and what money came out for certain events or missions projects that came throughout the course of the year in 2024. You'll once again for this find an overview of this report, providing helpful information regarding some of the specific line items. Now, these reports that I've just mentioned are really looking back at 2024 to see what exactly came in and what went out. In this video, we've tried to anticipate and address whatever questions you might have, but if you have any more, please email me, brady@ffbic.org, or a number of us, myself, our church treasurer Ron Strite, or our financial assistant Dave Martin. We'll do our best to answer any questions you might have. Finally, at the end of the council report comes the proposed 2025 spending plan. The figure that our Finance Committee and our church board is recommending and asking you to approve is $973,231. This is an increase of nearly $42,000 over the 2024 figure, and an increase of approximately $37,000 over what was actually contributed last year. The primary reason for the increase comes in two areas, and they are the same two areas as last year. It's buildings and grounds, along with employee expenses. As you look closely at buildings and grounds, you'll see that we had to increase what we set aside for insurance and electricity as inflation keeps having those two go up. And we have also taken numerous steps to try and keep costs down, but you'll find that we felt the need to address these two areas as we set place the spending plan. In the area of employee expenses, the church board continues to remain committed to bringing up employee wages to a competitive or market rate, thus the increase in employee expenses and the spending plan overall. Finally, you'll find an overview of the 2025 spending plan that specifically highlights three specific areas that make up the spending plan. We ask that you take the time to look over the plan and become familiar with it. Both the Finance Committee and the church board believe that the 2025 spending plan figure is attainable. Our weekly attendance continually grew throughout this past year. Along with that growth, we found contributions increased $21,000 over the previous year. As a reminder, if there are any questions that you have, be sure to send them my way, because we want you to be informed before we vote and look to approve the spending plan over the 8-day voting period that begins on the morning of the upcoming congregational meeting. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to repeat myself, but as I close this video, I just want to again say that we give thanks to the Lord for His faithfulness and to you for your generous response to His leading. As a staff, as a church board, as a finance committee, we're extremely grateful for the part you play in supporting the work that Jesus is doing here at Five Forks, in this community, and all around the world. So thank you.